And welcome into Miz-Stl on the Lou Information Station. Grant Salzman, Vic Faust here with you. And your Missouri Tigers remain undefeated with just a dominant performance over the weekend. A 52-10 victory over the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns. And that was dominant, Vic Faust.
Yes, it was. Good afternoon, early morning, lunchtime, whatever it is, St. Louis. Miz-Stl, Mizzou. In the post-game show, I called it perfect or near perfect because there's no such thing as perfect ever. There's no perfect football game. That was as close to as it was. We've had time to marinate on it, sit in it, love it. But as great as it was, I kind of forgot about it by the nighttime when all the other developments started happening in the SEC, which we'll talk about with South Carolina. But all in all, 3 games in, yes, you can be better at something here and there, but a collective 3 games, this is as good as you could ask for, I think, right now, with all the questions that you had coming in. I mean, yes, you would have liked to have not gotten down 21-6 to Kansas, but
I think it's a good thing in the long run.
Yes, my friend. I'm with you. That's why I'm excited. A lot of things still in place for Missouri to have a memorable, remarkable season.
Yeah, I'll read you some of the stats from the game. We'll talk about the good quickly, but I think we'll talk about the bad. I'll give you the stats. We'll talk about some of the negatives and then get into the good because there were a couple negatives. You said an almost perfect game. Bo Perbula, 15 for 22, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Matt Zollers came in 2 for 2 with 5 yards passing. Ahmad Hardy, 22 carries for 250 yards. And then in mop-up duty, Marquise Davis comes in, 20 carries, 113 yards. Bo Perbula rushed for another touchdown. And Jamal Roberts had 46 yards as well. Kevin Coleman, 84 yards. Roberts, though, a 39-yard touchdown snag. Took to the house with the touchdown. Marquise Johnson, another touchdown, reached for the goal line. He had 2 catches for 18 yards. Louisiana had 4 yards passing.
Yeah. 4 yards.
They only
4
had...
yards. In 2025, a team only had 4 yards of passing.
They only had, to Missouri 606, 121 yards. And a huge chunk of that is an 84-yard touchdown run. Without that 84-yard touchdown run, you're looking at 37 yards of total offense from Louisiana. they broke one big play, Xylon Perry, one play, 84 yards. And besides that, 37 yards.
I get it. Missouri's number 4 nationally in offense. They're number 5 nationally in total defense. Thank you, Parmesan, for that stat. 4 and 5 after 3 games.
Pretty good.
Yeah, no surprise. I mean, here's the thing. It's great, and it's fun to talk about the stats, but I think Missouri fan is like...
This was expected.
Well, it's time. Eli teams haven't always done this.
It's true.
Which is good, I think. But it's like, okay.
It also means nothing.
We're moving on.
Yeah.
It's South Carolina now. Wow.
There's no rejoicing over this win.
No.
Not even, honestly.
I mean, we rejoice, but...
For 45 minutes, an hour, and then you look ahead to South Carolina. Whereas to Kansas, I was maybe still gloating about Kansas yesterday.
Yes. That's an all-season one.
Yeah. But so, okay, let's touch briefly on some of the less, not negatives, but things that could be cleaned up. You can't give up 84-yard touchdown runs.
Well, no. You can't.
Bo, I would say this was his worst game of the 3, which is still a fine game. But he goes 15 for 22. He starts 6 for 13.
Yeah, the first quarter was great.
He makes an decision, throwing an interception. And those are just things, yes, obviously, for Louisiana, fine. But when you're on the road at Auburn, when you're on the road at Oklahoma, if you start 6 for 13 with a pick, your team's not going to be up 14 points still after the first quarter.
It was hot. It was the heat.
No,
I'm just messing around.
But if we're looking, that is something that can be cleaned up.
Yeah, of course
and you're going to get, obviously, there's tons of questions about South Carolina, but not about the defense. The defense is still an SEC defense. And if Bo puts up 42 points
gave up
against
31 points to Vanderbilt.
But I'm saying there can't be questions. If he goes out and balls out against South Carolina this Saturday, then it's like you can't say, well, they haven't played anyone.
I don't see why he won't be able to.
I don't
mean,
disagree.
he's not perfect, but why not? He's playing at home. Now his first road game, I think that'll be an interesting test.
Mm-hmm.
But they're at home. It's a night game.
Yeah.
All blackout. The crowd's going to be freaking amazing. It's a beautiful day, beautiful weather. Missouri has a win streak, a home win streak, I think right now, of 13 straight games, which I think is third or fourth in the country. It's a tough environment to play in. It's because of all you, the fans. And they just play there. Everything is setting up for Missouri. Never in a million years at last week did I think South Carolina was going to lose to Vanderbilt. And then I thought they'd come in being maybe a 3-point favorite, 4-point favorite against Mizzou. Now it's the flip switched because the script switched because of the quarterback being knocked out of the game. And he probably won't play. And I know we'll get into it. I'd be a little surprised if he was playing.
I would be too.
Now Missouri's a favorite.
Another negative is Robert Meyer in the kicking game. 41-yard field goal. He misses, not particularly close, and not particularly. It barely got there. If he was on target, it would have been good, but not by a lot. And that fills you with not a lot of confidence. He made a 28-yard chip shot, but you'll be very surprised. 22-yard chip shot he made. I would be shocked if at the end of the season you look back at a game and say, there was no game that we really needed to kick. Or if we made a kick, it would have changed the game. Or we won by a field goal or lost by a field goal. You're going to need a field goal kicker in some way by the end of the season. And I'm worried that Robert Meyer's not that guy. And if he's not the guy, it needs to continue to be open competition because this is the first game where kicking is going to really, really matter this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Well, we
maybe
think
not.
Is.
It could.
It could in every game. And who knows? It could have mattered in the Kansas game for a while as well.
Well, it might have helped them that, if they don't get a couple fourth downs, that they could lose that game.
This is Missouri. Robert Meyer has an opportunity to get better, but at the same point in time, how many has he missed already? He's missed multiple field goals.
I believe this was his first field goal miss.
Oh, I thought he missed two. My bad.
Did he miss? He didn't, because he didn't. His first game kicking was against Kansas last week, and he just didn't get a chance. He had the extra point blocked.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But I'm not sure. That's a tough decision on who you blame that on.
Well, they say he can hit from 52 and in.
Because what Drink says that the 25-yard line and in is where they feel comfortable. So that is.
I thought it was further than that.
That he said 25 and in, so that's a 42-yarder.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
They say
that's terrible.
That's where they said they feel comfortable with. I think if at an end of half situation,
he can make from 52
he could hit
under,
from 52.
Is what they said.
Yeah,
but I get concerned, and you're right. But I came in to be happy today, and you're taking me down this path.
There needs to be
Grant. I get it.
It's easier to find.
I get it.
It's harder to find negatives than positives, so you might as well find the negatives.
That's that St. Louis Mizzou media here where we're mean and nasty.
But if you're something to worry about, those would be the two things.
And we knew about it.
Yeah.
We knew that this was going to be an issue when they lost their kicker.
Will you be shocked at all if someone else other than Robert Meyer kicks at some point this season? You signed a couple guys. You signed that guy from that NAI school. What if? It should be an open competition in.
Oh, they've got open
camp right or practice right now.
They have open competition.
I agree.
Every day.
That's what I'm saying. If one guy's looking good from 45, 50,
especially with kickers.
Yes,
because that's what they do all day. It's just they stand there and do the one act of kicking.
I know
for hours.
So.
Which is why I never understood how a kicker could miss anything if the snap and the hold is where it should be.
Now, what would you say, though, to that question? Do you think there's a chance?
Yeah, of course there's a chance. The problem that you have is
anyone better than him?
Yeah, exactly. And if they were better, they'd be on the field. These college coaches get paid a lot of money. They see the talent that they have. Every now and then you may get a slight mistake of somebody who should be getting more reps or an offense that should be better. But, this isn't like Little League where favorites are being played or high school where daddy and a booster may be able to get something or there's a coach that may want his own player. This is much different. They're putting the best kids on the field. Yeah. They are. And if Missouri's in a situation and they miss a field goal and it costs them a game, none of us are going to be surprised.
No, not at all.
Which is why we just got to outscore everybody.
Just got to win the game.
Touchdowns, baby, not 3 sevens.
find a way.
And they were certainly doing that last week, which was great to see. Or getting inside the 25.
Yeah, get inside the 25. Yeah, so 52-10. Let's talk about the positives now.
Yeah.
Ahmad Hardy is the best running back in the SEC.
He might be.
250 yards, 22 carries.
Second nationally in rushing right now.
Who's first?
A guy from the University of Texas, San Antonio, and I'm sure they're playing a power schedule.
No, but he is quite the runner. He ran for like 100 and something yards against A&M.
Yeah,
his name is Robert Henry.
And those two guys are far and above 3 and down, meaning 1 and 2, Henry and Hardy. Their totals are way up at the top. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way down are far behind.
Vic,
those two guys are running away with it.
This Robert Henry gentleman has played Incarnate Wood, Texas State, and Texas A&M. You want to take a guess on who he had the most rushing yards
Texas
against?
A&M.
177 yards against A&M, 159 against Texas State, 144 this weekend. He has 47 carries for 480 yards already.
The thing I like about Hardy being second in America, just last week, he wasn't even the best running back for Missouri on the field.
Yeah.
That's the kind of talent Missouri has. Let's get real. That's how the offensive line is getting better. And he also had motivation playing his former team, which was
not
great.
his former team, actually.
Our
Louisiana Monroe.
That's right. Excuse me.
Is
being
the former team.
Playing Louisiana,
an old rival. Yeah, there you go.
But the other thing about it is the fact that you've got depth, an offensive line that's getting better week to week.
Yes.
They're getting better. And now you get set up for a situation where it's like, oh, South Carolina may be out without their starting quarterback. It can put you at a little bit of a disadvantage as a defensive coordinator playing a new quarterback. That guy completed a lot. I can't think of his name, the backup for Carolina. He completed a lot of passes, but he didn't score any points.
No.
lot of dinks.
His name is Lucas Dottie. Or Luke Dottie, pardon me.
But if South Carolina comes to town and they don't have Sellers as their quarterback, you got to win that game.
Yeah.
That's switched it a little bit where I'm like, this is a mature Missouri team 3 games in. That's what I really like. I see a mature team. You don't see an undisciplined team. You see a team that got down 21-6 against Kansas, took the hits and came back.
Yeah.
They're not a highly penalized team. And that gets, I'm like, okay, they're punching the card everywhere where they should, going, holy moly, we got a solid team all the way around. The coaching looks good, the offense, the defense, the special teams, except the kicking, it's looking all good. And I'm like, okay, here we are.
Special teams is the biggest question.
It sets up for a wonderful opportunity with South Carolina. You're now a 3-point favorite. It may go higher. You're set up for South Carolina, and dare I say, we know who follows them as UMass. And then you know who follows them? Bama at home.
Now,
I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but we lost out on College Game Day this week because of South Carolina. And you can't ever prove it, but it really seemed like there was a lot of hype and the momentum coming for Missouri, South Carolina. But South Carolina got crushed at home by Vandy. That ended it.
There's a chance Bama, Mizzou, if Mizzou does their part, and Bama.
That's exactly where I was going with that.
The issue is Bama plays at Georgia.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a very tough game to win.
The thing about it, from a sports analogy, the old bloodbath sports related, it's begun. And it begun in week 1 in the SEC with Tennessee and Georgia. That was crazy. Vanderbilt, South Carolina. And it's like, holy, are we really going to do this week after week after week? Which is another reason why I saw a report come out yesterday or the day before where Notre Dame said that they would join a conference, the SEC or Big 12 or Big 10. I don't know if you saw this, as long as one of those conferences could guarantee that it would be a 16-team playoff, because joining that conference now, they know it's a bloodbath. All of these teams in the age of NIL are just going to crush each other. They are going to beat each other up, which is why I'm glad Missouri has a lot of depth in some key positions.
I'll say this. So looking at the injury from Lenore Sellers, Luke Dottie is the backup. Luke Doty has been in high school or in college since my junior year of high school. I have now graduated college. I'm now working here. Luke Doty still in high school.
High school?
Or still in college, pardon me.
Like, how old is this guy?
He is 24 years old, or 23, turning 24 in a month.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Now, let me read you his statistics. So he's appeared in games since 2020. He had 41 carries for 90 yards in 2020, threw for about 400. 2021 threw for about 1,000, had a good year. 2022 had some passing yards. Then if you look at him, all of a sudden, Vic, in 2023, he had 13 catches for 123 yards and a touchdown. I guess he got tired of being the backup quarterback, so he said, I'm going to go play tight end. Then in 2024, again, he has receiving yards. And now all of a sudden, he's the QB again. His statistics, he went 18 for 28 against Vandy. No touchdowns, an interception, took a sack. He also had 9 carries for 20 yards. So while it is a positive that you're not playing Lenore Sellers again, don't wish injury. This guy, Luke Doty, has been around the block a few times. He's played in some games. He's appeared in some games. And he's a pretty good athlete by what I just read you, Vic.
Mm-hmm. He's a good athlete.
Can't undermine that. We
got a damn good defense.
I will say Missouri played him as a starter in 2020, where the Tigers won that game. Actually, I think he was a running back in 2020 in these games. He had no passing yards. I don't know. This is one of the strangest. You know how you can go on ESPN and look at their game logs and their splits? It's one of the strangest I've ever seen in my life. He was 1-6 as a starter in 2020. 2021, he was 2-3. And then he hasn't really started since then. ESPN still lists him as a wide receiver. That's how I mean, little expectations were put on him to be the quarterback this year.
Okay, it all leads to the point. If you're Missouri at home with the team that you have, and that's the quarterback for South Carolina, there's no reason you should not be winning this game Saturday night. I'm sorry. After all of that, what you just said, that's what it leads me to believe.
It's crazy.
It makes me feel a little bit better about Missouri's chances at home.
But he's an athlete.
He's an athlete. If
Missouri
has a bunch of defensive athletes.
I agree, but if South Carolina, I'm saying that I don't want people, I know the team won't be, but fans might be overlooking this a little bit. He's going to be able to run the ball. South Carolina has been known to be able to run the ball. I still think they'll probably be able to run the ball a little bit. It's just make Luke Doty throw the ball. If he throws the ball and somehow throws for 200 yards and you're in a game, I think you can live with yourself for making him beat you with his arm. And when he had to throw the ball against Vandy, he didn't look very good, though.
No, he didn't. And they've got some issues. South Carolina, and they're concerned. They're very concerned.
They've looked bad. Not obviously without Lenore Sellers, that was a big hurt in that Vandy game. But even against Virginia Tech, they were fighting for that victory, and we've seen Virginia Tech is terrible. They just fired their coach. They lost to Old Dominion. Mm-hmm. Like, Virginia Tech's not very good.
No, right now they're not.
We're still not 100% sure on what Vandy is, but
I am.
They've looked okay. You think they're good?
What did I tell you when the season began? Who did I tell you I was most concerned with Missouri as a road game?
Vandy.
I told you Vanderbilt. And you looked at me like, who is this guy? And I said, trust me, I know my Missouri football.
I don't disagree with you. I'm still more worried about Auburn and Oklahoma.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, Vandy's not a gimme. And what my whole point that day is that Vanderbilt was looking at Missouri as a win.
Yeah.
And that's what Diego Pavia has given them. You have a 6-year quarterback, a guy that's like 26 years old. Yeah. He shouldn't be playing. The NCAA even said, dude, you're too old. Go find a job like in the Canadian Football League or something.
The UFL.
We've got 18-year-old kids playing here. And he and his attorney sued the NCAA and got an extra year of eligibility.
Now, I will say, Vic, they have Georgia State, Utah State, their next 2 games. Pretty easy, soft. You want to hear they're stretched in the season?
Let's get it.
At Alabama, home against LSU, home against Missouri, at Texas, home against Auburn, Home against Kentucky. That's a very winnable game. Then at Tennessee, that's brutal.
It is brutal.
That is a brutal stretch, and who knows what Vandy will do? Hopefully, they're like you said, bloodbath. You're hoping they're limping into that game against Mizzou.
They believe
that they can win all those games.
They do, and they're the ones that knocked Sellers out of the game. He didn't just go out. It was a cheap shot. It wasn't intentional, but it was a helmet-to-helmet hit.
Yeah.
Knocked out the quarterback, and then Vanderbilt did very well because Dottie and that offense turned the ball over 3 times. They had 2 fumbles and an interception.
Yeah.
The Vanderbilt turned around into points.
And they just rolled 31 points up. And on top of this, in the fourth quarter, probably the best defender for South Carolina, Dylan Stewart, is ejected and will miss the first half of the game against Missouri. So very favorable outcomes over the weekend. For
absolutely, which is why I'm excited even more so about Missouri to put them in a situation where, not trying to get ahead of myself, if you play how you have been, we'll see what happens. It's the next step. They've passed every step. They passed all the steps.
And you got to find a way to pass this step against South Carolina.
And now you've got an opportunity. Yes, it's a wounded South Carolina team. Yes, they'll try to rally their troops, circle the wagons,
and run the ball.
And they'll try to do that with Missouri. But I'm telling you, Missouri's run defense is really good. It is. They got linebackers that can run and hit, that have the size to take on blocks. I'm that's why I'm excited. During the postgame show on Saturday, I'm like, we're really in a good state of where Missouri football is right now. And the fact that we had the schedule couldn't be set up any better, in my humble opinion, right now. I mean, everything is literally served on a platter. I'm like, okay, let's go take advantage of it. And I do believe this is a mature team. What we've seen so far in 3 games is a mature football team.
So right now, if you had to predict a record, what would you go?
I told you I don't do this. You're into this record thing all the time.
It's important. It's important for your takes.
No, the record. Here's the thing. If they're healthy,
yeah. In a perfect world, this is a dream world. 10-2. That's what I think. Where are those losses? What games are you most worried about?
And you have a spot in the college football playoff.
What games are you most worried about? Because then I think it fits. If you give me the 2 losses, I think then we can fit the narrative of how they get in.
Okay, in a perfect world, as we were just talking about,
everyone stays healthy. All the big pieces stay healthy. Everyone else's big pieces stay healthy.
You're losing at A&M. Worst case scenario.
We're home against A&M.
I mean, you're losing against A&M at home. That's a perfect. I know this is a crazy.
Because Marcel Reed could be hurt. Bo Prabula could be hurt. Someone could be hurt, and it changes the game.
And somehow, some way, you get nicked at Auburn.
You beat Oklahoma at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So that's where then people say, well, where's Mizzou's wins? How do they get in? They have a softer schedule. Well, then that means you're beating Alabama. You're beating Vandy at Vandy, and you're beating Oklahoma at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
One of those teams, even with the thing that upsets me about polls, it's to be like, well, you beat number 10 Alabama, but then they lost 2 more games. Well, if they beat us, they'd be a little bit higher.
This is why I don't like to do this scenario, because it's like, I understand what you're saying, but it's like things change from week to week.
No, what I'm saying, though, is people will say, like last year, let's say Missouri went 10-2. They win that South Carolina game. They probably don't get in because the games that were tougher, they got killed in.
Yeah.
This year, you then have wins over Bama, who will be a top 25 team.
But you know what?
Vandy and at Oklahoma, who's really good. That gets you in.
And even if you lost Oklahoma, I mean, you still got some other big wins.
Yeah.
If you lost Oklahoma
traded that with Auburn. Yes, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying, is that this schedule, while it's softer that people say, and softer in the SEC, there's enough good to really good teams that 10-2 gets you in.
Yes.
Because I think there were worries before the season started.
Well, I don't know yet. Yeah, let's wait and see. Yeah, I mean, 10-2 gets you in, no doubt. I think there's going to be more losses.
From Missouri?
No, just from the whole situation.
From all the teams.
After watching 1 week of football, 2 weeks.
This conference is
I've just
a bloodbath.
It's been fun to watch the NFL in the first few weeks, and it's been fun to watch college football in the first few weeks, just from what we're starting to see, the competition level. That Georgia-Tennessee game, I'm like, damn, what a fun game, back and forth. Then Notre Dame and A&M. I'm just like, the college football, it's so incredibly fun to watch right now.
What a win that was for A&M. Notre Dame had no business losing that football game,
No,
and they found a way to lose that
They
football
did.
game.
2 in a row, tight points.
Dropping the extra point. I mean, that's what kills you right there.
But you look at Notre Dame. Notre Dame could run the table and still get in.
Well, they're Notre Dame, so of course their schedule that people talk about Missouri's schedule. Notre Dame's schedule is saw off. Mizzou goes 10-2 with ease with Notre Dame's schedule, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
I'm with you. I just look at where we are, the excitement that's been building. Enjoy it. Enjoy what you have right now with Mizzou, because we did get some breaks when it came to the scheduling. We got breaks with all these home games right out of the gate. We're getting breaks with some really good weather. Last week was not fun, but the Kansas game, which was super important, beautiful day, great start time. 6 p.m. now.
Now you're 6 p.m. ESPN.
Great start time for Missouri's all blackout.
Supposed to be 84 degrees, probably be a cool 70 by kickoff.
And you've got a full day to tailgate and get excited. I mean, it's all there.
I'm glad they went with the blackout. They switched it from the whiteout.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's what I think it should always be gold out for night games.
Okay.
But I don't mind the blackout. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did it against Oklahoma last year. You got the win.
Yeah.
Do it again this year.
Why not? I was at that game, and it was it's a good omen. It's a good sign.
Yeah.
And Missouri had no business winning that game that night either, but they did.
Now
they found a way with a backup quarterback.
I know they're 13.5-point favorites, and there's been
how many?
They're 13.5-point favorites.
Who's 13.5?
Missouri.
I thought it was 3.
No, 13.5.
Oh, you know
right
why?
now.
Okay, because Sellers isn't playing.
Because Sellers isn't
that
playing.
Came out.
That's what. It's not come out yet.
When the game came out yesterday, and
it was 6.5 yesterday.
The first line that I saw immediately Sunday morning yesterday was 3.
I've not seen. I saw everywhere saying it opened at 6.5.
Oh, I saw it open at 3.
Yeah, I have not seen that.
And then it just started to go straight up.
Yeah, so 13.5. Now, if Sellers isn't playing, that will
then guess
jump
what?
all the way
Look
down.
What that does. Look at the respect Missouri's getting.
Yes, but now it's what do you want to see Saturday that will obviously a win, but I feel like there's a chance to really put your foot down and show, look, we're dominant. If you win this game 17-14, 20-17, great. We move on to UMass. Everyone's happy. But if you really want to garner the respect that you feel like you deserve, come out and dominate this game against an SEC team. Because if you win 2017, then everyone's like, well, you won, but probably wouldn't have won with Sellers playing. You know what I mean? Now it's come out, dominate, win 35-17, 35-10. Then all of a sudden people are like, whoa, you probably would have won that game even with Sellers with the way you played.
I know.
That's what I want to see.
A win's a win. I don't care.
A win's a win, but
I don't care if it's 1 point or 30 points.
But I think we'd feel a lot better talking on Monday.
Yeah, but
if they just come out and play like they've been playing. Continue it. Because I think that's what you need for all the confidence to roll overs. Look, we're doing it against SEC teams
but
now.
Guess what? Here's the best part about what this team has developed. And we talked about it at the beginning of the year. You and I did. We told you it was going to be more of a run team.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about this before the season began. It was going to be more of a run team.
And Bo looks good with his arm.
Did we think it was going to be this good of a run? I'm not quite sure. There were questions on the offensive line. They've gotten better each game. But this team runs the football. And I don't care who you're playing. If you can run the football, you have such an advantage.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where this team is. That's why I'm like, okay, we've got several guys that can run the ball. And we're not even talking about Bo. So, yeah, this is a very good situation that Missouri is in. They've got a defense that's getting better, an offensive line that's getting better, and the coaching has been pretty damn good as well.
Yeah, and it's a secondary that I think I'll be really interested how they react to Harbor, one of the best, most dynamic receivers in the country. They struggled. The secondary struggled against Kansas. I think if you're saying they didn't, they obviously struggled.
Daniels allowed himself extra time too, though.
Now, what do you do?
You're not facing Daniels.
No, you're not.
Daniels is a 6-year, very good quarterback. Okay. He's one of the best quarterbacks they're going to see all season.
Yes.
I promise you. So that's why I'm like, okay, this is another good thing.
Yeah. And I'm curious what that response will be, because it doesn't matter. I mean, when you got a guy like Harbor, it doesn't matter if you or me are throwing him the football. He's that fast. He can get wide open and still get it. Mm-hmm. So it's still a test. And I'm really intrigued of how they pass that test, because if you're even able to hold him to a couple catches, no big gains, like he's one of those guys, a 15-yard pass, all right, okay, could have been 80 because he is that type of breakaway speed of even with a backup throwing to him, it's going to be a test, and I think that's exciting to see for Missouri. If they can go and clean things up in the secondary in this game, I think there's a lot of confidence in this defense because that is the missing piece right now in this defense. We talked about how they could be one of the best defenses in the SEC, one of the best defenses in the country, but it doesn't. If your secondary is not very good, it's hard to be one of the best defenses in the country. Clean that up, all of a sudden this team looks even more dangerous than they do right now.
It's all set. Everything is put there for them, and Missouri is sitting in one of the best spots early on in a while with what the schedule remains and how good of a team they have.
Yeah. Tigers move up to number 23 in the country in the AP poll. They will take on South Carolina, who fell all the way from number 11 to unranked.
I don't remember the last team. If you did some research on that, I'd be curious. The last team that was ranked as high as number 11 and fell out with one loss.
Well, Florida was 13 and they fell out.
I know, but 11. You're in the top 10.
I don't.
But Florida also lost to a team that was even lower than Vanderbilt.
Yeah, they fell all the way. And I'd be curious if Sellers was healthy, if they would have fallen all the way out. We'll see. But let's take a quick break, come back, talk a little bit more about Mizzou, talk about the SEC landscape of how it's developing. And Mizzou has a chance to go 1-0 in the SEC. These conference games are big because something I've noticed in college football is there's a lot of parity. There's no super dominant team, especially in the SEC. Could be a chance for the Tigers to go even bigger than the expectations.
Well, I predicted the other Tigers to win it before the season started, so we'll see.
We'll talk about that. All that and more next on Miz-Stl on the Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. We'll be right back.
Hot Take Central 2.0.
Now, as you sports fans know,
it's really getting out of hand, man. It's going way out of control.
With Cam Jansen.
I'm going to lead you down the path that rocks.
And Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
You're a legend in the city, living by day instead of night.
Weekday mornings from 8 to 10.
hell yeah.
Only on the Lou Information Station. Streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. Hot Take
Welcome back to Miz-Stl on the Lou Information Station. We're talking all things Missouri Tigers. They play South Carolina Saturday, the number 23 team in the land. And South Carolina got pretty beat up against Vandy. They lost Sellers. They lost some other players. Shane Beamer, the Gamecocks head coach, had a press conference earlier today talking about some of his hopes for this week, hoping to get guys healthy. What do you have to say, Vic?
Power Mizzou just retweeted one of the beat writers for the Gamecocks, and they said, quote, Shane Beamer, who of course is the Carolina head coach, said that he was told by the SEC that Dylan Stewart is good to go and doesn't have to miss any time against Missouri. He was ejected in the last game. Stewart was ejected towards the end of the game for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So allegedly he will be back. Then Beamer said, we're optimistic, quote, on both guys for this week, talking about quarterback Lenora Sellers coming back to play and right tackle Kason Henry. That, according to Shane Beamer, from what he just said and was reported just a bit ago.
Very interesting.
Interesting if Sellers is playing.
What would you set the percentage at?
And the point spread is what again, Missouri?
13.5.
Missouri favored by 13.5.
That will not be the case if Lenora Sellers is playing.
Well, it'll be interesting. So, yeah, that's what we're hearing.
I'd give it
now.
less than a 10% chance, I think, that he plays. If I had to guess,
I'd be shocked.
It would be one of the more surprising things I've ever seen if he played against Missouri on Saturday. Now, as looking at this Missouri team, are you a little upset maybe that there's no Lenora Sellers? Because if you beat South Carolina at home with Lenora Sellers, that respect, that pull, maybe for the college football playoff, it boosts you up even more. But now you're expected to win. I don't know if it's really a feather in your cap as far as resume goes by beating South Carolina with their backup quarterback.
No, I mean, it doesn't, but you got to win.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm saying, would you rather have Sellers playing or is it's boosting you a lot as far as Vegas is concerned, and you have a much better chance to win without Lenora Sellers.
I love you, my young friend, but I hate it when you put me in these hypotheticals.
No, I'm just saying that I think that's what those are the talking points.
It could be, but a win is a win.
But that's not how college football works anymore, Vic. You gotta beat teams. You gotta beat good teams.
Well, yes and no. If you win, then there's no issues.
Yes, if you
win, then
if you go 10-2 and your best win is South Carolina without Lenora Sellers.
Yeah, but we worry about that at the end of the year.
But it's still something to look at now.
Possibly. I don't care who's quarterbacking. You just win. You're in your fourth game. You win. You've got to win. They're an SEC team. They were very good or considered to be very good. You just take care of business. Whoever goes out there, you got to beat.
Now with obviously it seems like Beamer's pulling the classic coaching move of he's pretty confident probably Lenora Sellers isn't playing, but you don't tell Missouri that unless it's an injury that's going to keep him out for the whole year and it's pretty obvious. You don't tell anybody that. No, it makes sense. But I'm saying, so now as a player, how do you prepare? Because obviously there is going to be preparation from the coaching staff and given to the players for both of these quarterbacks.
Yeah, there will be. And that's what we talked about earlier. It puts your defensive coordinator in a little bit of a bind because you don't know exactly what this backup to do. What would you saw a quick version.
Yeah.
But it may not have been the best version for him.
It's obviously helpful too. He has games on film.
Yeah.
Granted, they were 4 years ago,
yeah, a little. But you know about Sellers, and even when you know what's coming at you, it's very difficult to face a guy that was put up there as a Heisman hopeful. So he gets knocked out, or allegedly knocked out. We'll see where that goes for this game. But I just look at a backup. You don't know exactly what it'll be, but whatever he is, he's not Sellers.
No. And I think of this, and
I'd be shocked if he would present any of the challenges that Sellers would.
I agree with you. And I think too, and this kind of happened to Missouri with Connor Wegman and Marcel Reed.
Good point.
The problem with that game is Connor Wigman and Marcel Reed are not even in the same caliber of the same type of quarterback. Wigman sits in the pocket, he throws. Marcel Reed is dynamic, dual threat, can run all over the place, and can throw the ball. So that was a very challenging predicament for Missouri. They were trying to prepare for two totally different quarterbacks. I think with this Luke Doty kid, he's still a runner. He's still, I think that I don't think the playbook will change too much between him and Sellers. Obviously, maybe pass plays will shrink, but as far as the run game goes, which is probably the most challenging part of preparing for Sellers, Doty can run the ball. I don't think they're just going to scrap the QB run in this game. So it almost makes it a little bit easier because you're preparing for. It's hard to call anyone similar to similar types of quarterbacks. They want to play a similar way still, I think.
They do. But they'll have to come up with something different. But right now it's Monday, and the head coach is saying we feel very good about on a Monday. Normally they'll say, well, we're not sure. He's basically saying that we feel good about Sellers playing now.
I'll be curious off that one quote if we see the line drop again.
But you don't see head coaches on a Monday say we feel very good or we feel good about him playing on a Monday.
Yeah.
And then you don't see on a Wednesday or Thursday, oh, yeah, things worsened. No. That's why I'm like, I want to see that line. It's confusing to me right now on what's going on. Now, I know that they're scared to death if he's hurt, but maybe he was just kept out for precautionary reasons that night. Maybe he said, hey, I'm a little banged. I don't want to go back out.
Could happen.
I'm looking at a possibility of the NFL. I don't want to go back out there right now. That's fine. And then they're down a little bit, and it's like, wait a second, this is already bad. Let's not
make it worse.
Why make it worse when we've got a very important game next week too?
Especially in the new era of college football where you can afford a loss or two and still have postseason. This Vandy team, they ran for 150 yards. They threw for 177. It was hard to really get a landscape of how good the South Carolina defense is because they turned the ball over so many times, 3 turnovers, some short fields, but they definitely look susceptible on the ground.
They did.
They did. Ahmad Hardy, Jamal Roberts, Bo Perbula got to be licking their chops about.
They've got great players. I mean, they've got guys that look the part at South Carolina.
They have NFL players on both sides of the ball.
And their recruiting in quotes has been better than Missouri's.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of athletes that come out of the state of South Carolina, and they have a lot of those kids on their team. But I still feel good where Missouri is. Even if Sellers is the quarterback, I still feel good. I do. I feel good about what Missouri is and what they can do, and it's another opportunity for their test to come out and really show what they've done because every test that's been given to them, they've passed. Let's go do it again.
And this will be the biggest one they have so far. Whoever's playing quarterback.
No doubt.
This is the biggest test.
Specifically on offense, too, against their defense.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's what I think I'm most... If Dottie's playing, you would expect Mizzou's defense to look good.
I would hope so, yes.
I think the most interesting thing to me will say, if Missouri comes out and puts up 30-something points again and runs the ball over, you can finally officially confirm nationally what we all know is that how legit this offense is.
I could agree with that. And then, of course, it's also important to sell out for this game because you have UMass the next game. And
you're not going to learn a lot from that.
You're not. And once again, how the schedule sets up, it's beautiful.
And then a bye.
And then Alabama coming to town. So that's why I think you're going to, Missouri gave everything they had against a inferior team, but they still did what they were supposed to do. They didn't have to play a ton in that game. It starters out before the game was over. Now you have an opportunity where there are no excuses. You go take care of business. Welcome in, Gamecocks. And we're going to take you down tonight.
Well, let's get game day for Bama.
And we're going to get a little payback for last year in a game that should have been won and was won and then taken away at the end of the game.
You're right. I forget about that game sometimes.
Brady Cook and Luther Burden won that game for us.
And the defense.
And then we gave it up.
Lenore Sellers balled out.
He did.
Found a way.
He's got to win against Missouri.
He's found a way. But and this is another trophy game.
Yep.
Elijah Drinkwitz talked
What is
about
it, the Mayor's?
the Mayor's Cup.
Yeah, the Mayor's Cup.
Trophy games are important. You've won one against Kansas. You can win this one. Maybe you win against Arkansas, and then hopefully there's more trophies to be won.
Trophies are good. They got to get the win. They
Yeah.
got to get the win. This is so big, not only for the season, but to help generate more money. Missouri, as we've talked about, has done very, very well in the age of NIL. And when Missouri's producing like that, obviously it makes fans and people with means who want to donate a lot more eager to put money into a product and a team and this recruiting, because you got to continue to keep these players.
This is a marquee game. 6 o'clock, ESPN. Make that recruit sitting at home, watch it on his couch, go, whoa.
Wait, who's the broadcast? Do you know who the broadcast team is by chance?
I do not.
I know I put you on the spot.
I'm
I don't know.
assuming that the Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler will be at Miami, Florida on ABC. They normally do the ABC game, but it probably will be Sean McDonough. Pretty big broadcaster there, too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I was just wondering who the team would be. The broadcast team when it comes to producing that game.
But this is a big time moment. You have ESPN 6 o'clock blackout. Make people realize how great this atmosphere is, and kids watching at home.
Yeah,
maybe want to go. Maybe I should go check out Columbia and Faurot Field if it's that loud.
Well, maybe from a high school standpoint, kids across the country who are in college and looking to transfer in the portal, they already know about Mizzou.
Yeah.
Mizzou has had a lot of success with transfer players. Just look at the starting lineups on the offense and the defense.
True.
And where those kids started. This is another reason why Missouri has put themselves in a good spot. It started with the SEC, then an influx of money. Gary Pinkel taking them to 2 SEC East titles in back-to-back years, making sure fans knew, hey, we're good enough to play in this league and win in this league and get victory to Georgia and Sanford Stadium. We're good enough to do this. And then now you've got some steps. Let's win at South Carolina. Oh, we haven't beaten Alabama yet. There's an opportunity as well. So many things set in place. We're 3 weeks in, still a long season, lots to be excited about. And if you're a Tiger fan, we're excited. We're talking about it throughout the St. Louis area because we have a good team. We have a good team with good coaches and people who care, and a better stadium on the way as well.
It's quite a time to be a St. Louis.
That's why I'm excited.
Area college football
I get
fan.
chills talking about Mizzou because I remember the days when it wasn't like this, and it wasn't all that long ago. And now here we are. We're being talked about amongst the best programs in the country.
And I don't want to bring this up, but if you're
something negative, let me
no,
guess.
no.
The kicking game?
No.
I'm
If you're
kidding.
in the area, though, you could be a fan of a team out east a little bit. And if you're in the area of St. Louis college football and you're a fan of either Illinois or Mizzou, it's a pretty good time. Illinois is undefeated, number 9 in the country. Mizzou's undefeated, 23 in the country.
Let's give Illinois credit. I know this is the MIZ, and I'm glad you did.
We have Illinois on our channels. We have our post-game shows on STL Sports Central.
Illinois is legit.
Yeah.
They're legit. Their quarterback is legit.
They got a big test this weekend, too, at Indiana. I think that's going to be a heck of a game.
I don't think it's a big test.
Do you think they're going to roll?
I do. I could be wrong.
Wow.
I am not sold on Indiana.
I'm not sold on either team.
Oh, really?
I don't want anyone to.
Okay, it's all right.
I don't want to say that too loud.
I really like Illinois' quarterback.
Altmaier he's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good.
But I'm not sold on Indiana yet.
That's fair.
Especially after watching them dud out in their bowl game last year after playing hardly anybody during the regular season.
Very true. Big one this Saturday.
Yeah.
And you
Can't
might
wait.
be there. You're up in the air.
I don't know. As of now, no. But you never know. Maybe something will happen in my life and I'll make a last-second road trip up. And if there's no hotel rooms, maybe I'll be sleeping in the ATO house with my son.
200 more tickets left for a sellout, too, there. So
it'll be a sellout.
Big one this Saturday. Blackout. Wear your black. 6 p.m. on ESPN. Go find a win. Get to 4-0 and start 1-0 in the SEC, more importantly.
Another fun week. You get to talk more about Mizzou the rest of the week, too.
We're live Wednesday, Friday, same time, 10. And Vic will be live with Chris Pelican, Howard Richards, and hopefully myself Saturday after hopefully a big Tiger victory.
You got it, Grant. Appreciate it. What a
over
great
the
show.
wrong Columbia.
Hey, we are the real Columbia.
The battle for the real Columbia. That's the most important thing. For Vic Faust, I'm Grant Salzman. This was MIZ-STL. Stay tuned for Charlie Tune and the Posse on the Loop Information Station, KLIS 590. We're done for now.
You've been strong for everyone